Hello. I'm sorry. I had puppies getting out and wandering around. I had to go put them back. How is everybody? So we had a day yesterday on that testimony on that stand, didn't we? But I must say, now I have more questions than I have answers. And today so far has been pretty compelling testimony from all of them. It's just, I don't know. Now it's like, sorry. She said her daughter said a lot of stuff yesterday. A lot of stuff. Like the night before she called that supposedly Ganny went missing, Tisha said that she wanted that they needed to go down and say goodnight to Gannon, and that was something that was never done before. It makes you wonder though, you know? Um Hold on 1 second. Damn it. Mm, fudge. All right, I'm sorry. My dogs are like going crazy outside. The puppies are trying to escape. Oh, I'm telling you. I can't move past yesterday's since everybody's talking about it. But where is it? I have it saved somewhere. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for day 6. Hold on now. I mean, day 9. There it is. Sorry, it wasn't day 6. It was day 9. I do know that yesterday she said a lot. I do not remember. I do not remember. I do not remember. And, and that's kind of expected, honestly. This was 16, 17. She's what? 19, 20. She's either 20 or 21 right now. So I don't know if, this was a traumatic experience for her. So she can either have it all pushed aside or she can have it all to where, shit. Where she just doesn't want to remember. And and it had to be very scary for her up there. She's never been present in front of a judge and jury like that, and not for nothing. That's the first time she's seen her mom since her mom got arrested. And then she, I'm pretty sure she glanced over and seen her mom giving her the finger. She had to have. I mean, she's like right in the view now. Everybody can see her. People were saying that she was giving the judge the finger yesterday. I didn't see that. I seen her hand up by her face, but to me, it didn't look like she was giving the finger. But when Harley was on the stand, you did see her finger go up. Now, whether she was trying to give her the finger or it just happened like that, like, I don't know. But it did really hit me when she said that Letitia told her to go down and that they had to go down and say goodnight to Gannon, and that wasn't something she normally did. So that really, really stuck with me. And then Holly said that she didn't notice the green bag in the moving van. And there was no smells coming from behind the metal wall. So I don't know what you would call it. Like, it blocks the back from the front. So that could have been one reason why you didn't smell anything. They might have had their windows down. Plus, riding with 2 dogs, the smell could be the dogs itself, Not to mention, she said that Letitia would keep the dogs quiet and entertained by keep giving them snacks and crap. So maybe anytime the dogs would try to make an alert about it, she would shut them up real quick. I don't know. But let me see if I can find that one that I was going to ask.
Have you had a chance to look at that? Yes. What is People's Exhibit 204?
It's a message between me and Cam's mom.
And is that what you're talking about? Is that the message you got? So they left the voicemail. Do you remember what the voicemail was?
Yes.
December 19th, 2019.
It's started to feel like we were a family again. Because everybody was there and like we were together.
Did they ever argue?
Yes,
How often would they argue?
often.
And how do you know they were arguing?
Because you could hear them arguing.
What would you do when that would happen?
Anna and Arlena would come ask me why they were arguing. So, like, they would just come in my room and I would turn the TV up or something. I didn't want them to have to listen to them argue.
Did you ever get pulled into these arguments?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that.
They would be arguing about something and then it would be like, well, isn't this true? Or like, ask my opinion. Try to get my say-so on it.
And who would ask you your opinion to get your...
I don't remember.
Was Albert Stout there on the day that you were going to go on a hike?
No.
So was he in Oklahoma or on his way to Oklahoma, or do you know?
Yes.
You just don't know when he left.
Right.
Is that fair? All right. So January 26, 2020, that's a Sunday. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Do you recall going to church with your mother and dad and Lena?
No, we did not.
Is that something you would remember if you didn't go to church that day?
Yes.
And on January 26, 2020, were you scheduled to go to work that day?
No, I was not scheduled.
Did you go to work that day?
Yes, I got called in.
I'm trying to find out where she says the part where she went down to say goodnight
Oh,
to him.
she says when you asked about Chance, she says, no, Chance was upstairs. The house.
My mom was like, let's go tell Gannon goodnight. So
There it is.
that's what we went down there.
Anything unusual about your mom saying, let's go tell Gannon goodnight?
Not something that she normally would do.
And it's not something she would normally do?
Correct.
That's surprising to you when she said that?
Yes.
Did she go down there with you when you went to Gannon's?
Yes, we both went down there.
You recall your mom talking to Gannon?
She said goodnight to him. She was like, goodnight.
You know whether or not responded?
I don't remember now.
So was Gannon's bedroom window open as well?
I don't know.
Cold down the basement?
Yes.
Did you sleep down in the basement that night?
No.
Where was your room within the house?
In the basement.
Did it get close to Gannon's room, or was it up on the other side of the basement?
On the other side of the basement.
Was your room cold in there?
I don't remember.
Why'd you sleep upstairs?
Because it was cold downstairs. You could still smell like the fumes and like everything just felt like everything in the house just felt weird.
Okay, so right there, Letitia and Harley went to say goodnight to Gannon. They've never done that before. The basement was pretty cold, and normally, you know, it's an insulated basement because there's 2 bedrooms and a living room down there, so it has to be pretty warm. It's an open area, so like you can actually, when you're walking down the stairs, see downstairs. So like there's no door that closes to trap off the basement because it is a living basement. So with that being said, if it was too cold and the fumes were bothering Harley, why was Gannon sleeping down there but Harley didn't? Why was it so cold down there? See, that makes me feel like Gannon was already hate to say it, but passed on before Monday morning. And I mean, I know people are like, oh, well, they have her on video Monday morning, blah, 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 with him coming out. That may not have been him. We couldn't really see the video. We seen the people, but we could not really tell if that was Gannon or not. It was too grainy for us to tell if it was Gannon or maybe it was Lana, and she was taking Lana to school that morning. We don't know. We just don't know. I know for a fact when I looked at the video, I couldn't really see. I couldn't tell if it was Gannon or not. I just went with it because everybody said that it was Gannon on the video. I just don't believe it was Gannon. I believe it may have been Lana that she was taking to school that morning. And Gannon was in the bed still. Because they said it would have been uncommon for them to leave him at home sometimes by himself. So, I don't know. Oh, yeah. And then she said it felt weird in the house after that. It felt weird. I changed it. Sorry.
On the other side of the basement. No, it was very, brief.
If the video says it was about 15 to 16 minutes by the time you pull up and then leave again, January 28th at 8:54 a.m.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
And then she responds, Albert said to tell Lena to work on her clothes. Did you know what that was about?
I think it was just cleaning up her room.
You can scroll down. You can keep going, please. So your mom tells you exactly what you just said. Clean the room before everyone gets there, right?
Yes.
What was your understanding of who was coming to the house?
I know Albert was coming home. There was different, army people that were coming. I know some, family friends, so...
People were coming out to look for Gannon, right? Albert said you need to go where he is at.
Yes.
Remember that? What was that all about? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure they were both out. I think one of her sisters.
So what did you do when you got a call from one of her sisters saying that your mom was at the hospital?
I asked if I could leave to go pick her up.
And did you do that?
Yes.
Did you pick anyone else up or ask anyone to go with you to pick up your mom?
That they were on a time crunch because my family had to get back to their flight in Denver.
Pensacola, Florida.
Yes.
Long drive, right?
Yes.
When you get close to Pensacola, do you remember your mom making the reservations at a hotel room?
Yes.
Do you remember what hotel room that was?
Not the name, no.
Was it the Candles?
Probably.
Same process. She's with the Ford Motor Company, corporate discount, one person. When you walk in first, she walks in later.
Yes.
You remember that happening?
Yes.
At this point, I'd like to publish People's Exhibit 181, which is already in evidence.
if the dollar store video shows that you were no longer in your Sergeant B uniform but in a blue sweatshirt, that would seem to
Has your mom ever referred to herself as Jasmine?
No.
Do you have a cousin named Jasmine?
No.
Jazz?
I remember one time me going inside to get her food.
Did you ever stay in the van by yourself?
No.
You know why?
No.
Do you remember when you checked out of that particular hotel room?
The next day.
On February 2nd, 2020? Do you remember about what time of day it was when you left?
Around like 9 or 10. Checkout's at like 11, so.
Okay. So, when you wake up the next morning, do you have any idea where you're going?
No, just back on the road.
Was the plan still going to Texas, moving to Texas?
I think at that point it was, we're just going somewhere in Florida.
Now, the night you stayed in Amarillo, Texas, did you and your mom sleep in the same bed?
I know there were times where we did. I don't remember at which hotel.
Were there times where you had your own bed?
I don't remember. I remember like one specifically when we did have the same bed.
The night of February 1st into February 2nd, did your mom ever leave the room by herself?
No, not to my knowledge.
February 2nd, do you remember driving all the way to Decatur, Texas on that day?
Yes.
And do you remember staying at Candlewood Suites in Decatur, Texas?
Yes.
Did your mom do the same thing? Would she call in advance, make a reservation? Would you go in with the dogs first? She comes in later?
Yes.
As she's making these reservations, do you recall her using any kind of corporate rate or saying that she was with a corporation, things like that?
Yes.
What would she say?
I believe it's called Ford Motors.
Where would that come from, do you know?
My aunt.
So your mom knew that she can get a cheaper rate by saying Ford, or do you know that?
Yes.
Based on where your aunt worked?
I believe it was her husband.
Do you remember your mom ever leaving the hotel room when you're in Decatur, Texas on February 2nd, 2020?
No.
If she would have left the hotel room, would you known it?
When I was awake, yes.
Obviously, if you're asleep, you don't, right?
Right.
Okay. So February 3rd, 2020, do you remember checking out and leaving Decatur, Texas?
Yes.
Would it be about the same time you left the hotel in Amarillo?
Yes.
Do you remember driving?
Lord have mercy, she drove all over the almost the whole mid-Atlantic and the Atlantic coast. But the only place she didn't come was her home, which is in North Carolina, where she was born and raised at. Because she eventually ended up in South Carolina. I don't know. I just don't feel right about this whole thing. Like, I have more questions now. Like, they obviously had to give immunity to her. Obviously. For her testimony. I mean, there's still people thinking that she had hope. I don't see Harley hope in her. Harley looks too... and I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but she's kind of like she looks kind of weakly. She doesn't really have any type of muscle tone to her. Um, Girly girl, like the adrenaline doesn't get pumping in her like it, would some women. Dog, don't start barking. I'm gonna knock you out. It's the door. Oh Lord. Well, y'all, in 30 minutes, Kit is going live, which I don't know. I thought they said they would be back. They'll be back in an hour, so 3:30. Which is okay. Because Kit will be live an hour or half an hour before. Cool. I just wanted to go live and talk about yesterday a little bit. Let's more of this.
All the way. Pensacola, Florida.
Yes.
Long drive, right?
Yes.
When you get close to Pensacola, do you remember your mom making the reservations at a hotel room?
Yes.
And do you remember what hotel room that was?
Not the name, no.
Was it the Candlewood Suites?
Probably.
Same process. She's with the Ford Motor Company, corporate discount, one person. Would you walk in first, she walks in later?
Yes.
You remember that happening?
Yes.
At this point, I'd like to publish People's Exhibit 181, which is already in evidence. So People's Exhibit 181 is up on the TV screen. You see that?
Yes.
Recognize any signatures on that document?
Yes.
Whose signature do you recognize?
My mom's.
You remember staying at that Kingwood Suites in Pensacola, Florida on the night of February 4th into the early morning hours?
Yes.
Do you remember checking in after midnight?
Yes.
Or actually going to bed after midnight?
Yes.
How many beds did you have in that?
One.
Was that a queen size bed?
No, I think it was a king.
This document says it was a queen size bed. Would that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Well, obviously, if the document says it, then that's what it is.
Or do you remember?
I quit beforehand, but I don't know.
Did you stop on the road somewhere and do one of these drive-thrus you were talking about?
Yes.
Get some quick food? Okay. So what happens when you get into this room? Do you remember?
We just get in, go to sleep.
Now, on People's Exhibit 181, it says that the car you're driving is a Nissan Altima. Yes, we're driving a Nissan Altima.
Right.
You see the Ford Motor Company at the top of the page there? That on this screen here is assumed in.
Oh, yes.
Is that consistent with what you've been talking about? Use corporate reductions to stay in these hotel rooms?
Yes.
So, after midnight on February 4th, 2020, did your mom ever leave that room?
Not that I know of, no.
Were you sleeping the entire time, or were you awake during times that night? And we're talking 12:30 in the morning.
I was asleep.
Earlier you indicated you're kind of a hard sleeper. Would you know if your mom left that room or not?
No.
How was your mom acting as you checked into this hotel room?
She was acting normal.
Up until this point, had you ever gone to the back of that van?
No.
At any of the stops up to this point, had you gotten any change of clothes or gotten any suitcases out of the back of the van?
No.
At any point during this trip to Pensacola, did you smell anything?
No.
Do you know why I'm asking you if you smelled anything in the back of that van?
Yes.
Why?
Because Gannon was back there.
How do you know Gannon was back?
Because you guys told me that there was evidence that he was back there.
Did you later learn that Gannon's body was found in Pensacola, Florida on
Yes.
March 17th,
Yes.
2020? How did you learn that?
When they arrested my mom and the FBI, came to the house and told me.
So what happens when you wake up morning hours of February 4th, 2020? What's going on in the room? What's up when you checked out?
Yeah, it was just like all the other days. We just check out. Afterwards, we go grab breakfast, and then we go to Orlando.
Why are you going to Orlando?
She was planning that that's where we could stay. I remember her calling apartment places to see if we could live there.
As far as you're concerned, is that where you're going to be living
Yes.
into this trip?
Yes.
Miss Son, I want to ask you a direct question, okay?
Okay.
Did you help your mother throw that suitcase over a bridge in Pensacola, Florida
No, I did not.
on February 4th, 2020?
No, I did not.
How was your mother acting like after you left Pensacola?
I remember that morning when we went to go get breakfast. That was another time that I went into the restaurant. I went into McDonald's to get our food, and she was just I just remember her being sad, just being down.
Did you ask her why she's sad or down?
Yeah, she was just because of everything that's going on.
When you get to Orlando, do you remember how long it took you to get to Orlando from Pensacola?
No.
Was it the next day?
Yeah.
What happened when you get to Orlando?
We were supposed to stay there. That was supposed to be our time that we were going to stay there for a while. I think she booked our hotel for 5 or so days. And we left early.
Why'd you leave early, do you know?
She kept saying, they know I'm here, they're following us.
And who was she referring to when she said they're following us or they know we're here?
The police.
Was she acting the same way she was when you're in Colorado, saying following us and things like that?
Yes.
Got a question. So they asked her directly, did she help her mother? And she answered, before the question was even done, no, I didn't. And then she said, no, I didn't again. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that she may have done it? Or do you think that her mother may have done it while she was sleeping that night? If she's a hard sleeper, she's not going to know if her mom left as long as her mom is back before she wakes up in the morning, right? Unless she wakes up throughout the night. But I would imagine this was tiresome for this little girl, going through all the changes and differences and different states and not knowing what's going on. That's what I'm starting to think, that while they were in Pensacola is when she did it. So it would have had to been the night during the night while she was asleep. Unless she disappeared while she went into the restaurant to get food and went and did it. But then she'd have too many people to worry about looking at her. At nighttime, she could just like pull over to the side of the road, put her hazards on real quick to make her think like she was doing something. You know, and if she did do it like that, she could have just brought the suitcase to the side of the van and threw it over where, to where the van was blocking the view of the cars on the road. If there was any other cars on the road, because that late at night, you would think there probably wasn't that much traffic. So I'm with you, Sheila. I think she did it while Harley was asleep.
So what happens after that conversation?
We end up leaving, and I remember her saying, like, we don't have, like, the money to keep staying at all these hotels in different places, so we drove to Myrtle Beach.
And do you remember when you got to Myrtle Beach?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say make it look like she was broke down, because then she'd have the chance of somebody pulling over to try to help her. More or less like she was acting like she was looking for something, or an address or something like that, like to make it not so conspicuous. You know what I mean?
A day or two after that.
Did you turn the van in to the budget rental center in Myrtle Beach?
Yes.
Did you go there directly, or did you go somewhere else?
We went somewhere else first. I remember we got to Myrtle Beach. She had parked the van at a hotel near where we were going to stay at, like, a friend's house.
Okay. Do you know why she did that, or did you ask her why she did that?
No, I think she said, like, she just didn't want the person that we were staying with, like, for them to get, like, attention brought to their house.
Did your mom ever mention to you the fact that the van may have had a GPS device on it? Did she drive it?
No.
Did you know that?
No.
You know that now? How'd you unload the van in Myrtle Beach, or did you unload the van?
I did not know.
Who unloaded the van?
Yeah, but it would still make it kind of conspicuous if she was acting like she was broke down, though. Because that's what I mean. She'd still have a chance. If she would have made it seem like she was broke down, she may have had a chance somebody would have stopped to try to help her. And that would have threw off what she was trying to do, or it could have really fumbled it all together. So she would have had to make it like she was doing something in the van or looking for something, or, or something on her phone, so that way nobody would pull over. Nobody would try to help her. So either that, or she just drove up on the bridge, hopped out, got the suitcase, threw it over, got back in, and pulled off. Nobody's the wiser. I mean, either or. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, because that's a good theory as well. We just don't really know, because there's like no video or pictures of this at all. So.
And in Myrtle Beach?
I was told something of who unloaded the van. I don't know if you want to hear that.
Well, who told you that? I guess it depends on that.
It is my best friend's mom.
Will can't get into that. We can get into things your mom tells you, but not others, okay?
Okay.
You stay in Myrtle Beach up until the point your mom was arrested.
Yes.
Tell the jury about your mom's arrest.
I was scheduled to go in to meet with my recruiter that morning. And she brought me there. She waited in the car that we had there. And that's when I walked in, and like there was like police and everything talking to me and told me that she had been arrested.
Did you actually see her get arrested?
No, I did not.
And did this happen on March 2nd of 2020?
Yes.
Did you give an interview with FBI agent sitting over here?
Yes.
Recognize him?
Yes.
That was way
Did you
before
talk
we were
about some of
locked
the
down
things
as a
that we talked
country.
about here with regards to the Dollar Tree and the events surrounding Gannon's disappearance?
We did, yes.
Were you completely up front with him at that time? When you were talking to him, did you still believe that your mom didn't have anything to do with this?
Yes.
And that was before Gannon's body was discovered, is that right?
Yes.
They had a tracker on the van. No, it wasn't a van. Since this was back in 2020, this wasn't a van like with that on it. There was actually, it was just a plain old cargo van. Like there was no kind of updated stuff on it at all.
What about when Gannon's body was discovered?
That was a little bit after when I found out it was discovered in Florida. It was just weird because, like, to myself, I was like, we were in Florida. But I kept like wanting to think it was like a coincidence and that somebody like did follow us or there was a different story.
You still believed your mom even after that?
Yes.
At what point did you not believe your mom anymore, that she didn't have anything to do with Gannon's?
I like started having questions.
I'm pretty sure the van was a later model, so it wasn't. It was before 2020 model, so I think it was like a 2014 model. Hush.
But I still like
I hear
wow,
you.
it wasn't until this past like November recently.
What are your thoughts about your mom pleading not guilty by reason of insanity?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant at first. Yeah.
Did you learn what that meant in November?
Yes.
I want to talk about your life with your mom since the day you were born, as far back as you can remember. Okay? Had you been with her 24/7?
Yes. Other than like when I was at school or work or
Would she ever disappear for weeks at a time and not know where she's at?
no.
Had you always known where she was at up until we talked about the Life 360 app? But did you always know where your mom was at for any time?
Yes.
Had you ever gone to Australia with your mom?
No.
Have you ever gone to Saudi Arabia with your mom?
No.
Has your mom ever gone to Australia or Saudi Arabia without you?
No.
Would you know that if she did?
Yes.
Had you ever seen your mom change personalities into someone she isn't?
No.
What do you mean by that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Has she ever not remembered who you were?
No.
Have you ever seen her not remember who Al Stout is?
No.
Have you ever seen her not remember who Janet was?
No.
Lena.
No.
Had she ever been treated for any mental illness in your lifetime? Would you know that if she was treated?
Yes.
Did you know if she ever went to a psychiatric hospital and was in an inpatient program and couldn't leave because of some kind of mental illness?
Yes.
Did that ever happen?
No.
Had she ever ever seen a therapist about mental illness that you know of?
No.
During the entire time, especially in January 27th, 2020, all the way up to you go to Myrtle Beach in this van, your mother had the capacity to know right from wrong.
Yes.
Did you see that with your own eyes?
Yes.
Did she know how to check into rooms?
Yes.
Did she know how to register doors? Did she obey the traffic laws?
Yes.
Did she do anything unusual, during this entire trip?
No.
Have you seen people who are mentally ill?
Yes.
Do you know the difference in what?
The law said they put one on the van.
I'm talking about, someone who can't function in society versus the way your mom was acting?
Yes.
Did you see any evidence of that with your mother?
No.
Had you seen instances, especially in January 27th of 2020, where your mother had the capacity to form the intent?
What do you mean?
She intended to go to school.
Yes.
She went to Walmart to buy clothes.
Hey, buddy.
Talk about that, and then did you in fact go to Walmart to buy clothes?
Yes.
Phone.
Did you have an opportunity to see her to have the capacity to form judgment, reflection, and to make decisions?
What do you mean? Yes.
She able to rent this rental van on her own, take you and drive Texas, all the way to Florida, up to Myrtle Beach. Has your mom ever referred to herself as Jasmine?
No.
Do you have a cousin named Jasmine?
No.
Jazz?
Her name's Jocelyn.
Jaslyn?
Yeah.
Okay. I must have misunderstood something. Do you know who Jasmine is in the Disney movies?
Yes.
Aladdin?
Yes.
Your mother watched a lot of Disney movies?
No.
You never seen her act like Jasmine, the princess in Aladdin, saying she's going to go to Saudi Arabia and things like that?
No.
Have you ever heard your mother refer to herself as a tailor?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
She didn't like her first name, so she wanted to change it, and I thought she changed her middle name to Taylor, and that's why she went by Taylor.
Did she open social media accounts with the name Taylor? Because what you just said?
Yes.
Do you know if she ever legally changed her name to Taylor?
No.
When she was referring to herself as Taylor, did she take on a different personality, or is it the same old mom?
The same.
What about Victoria? Has she ever referred to herself as Victoria?
No.
Has she ever referred to herself as Harp?
No.
Has she ever referred to...
Not quite sure. I just remember it was a cargo van. No seats. It was just a 2-seater. And it had that wall between the front and the back. I don't remember if there was a slide-in door or a door on the inside to get to the back, or if it was just a straight slate. What? I think it was a GMC cargo van. I think that's what it was.
herself as Christina?
No.
Has she ever referred to herself as Little Lucia?
No.
Has she ever referred to herself by the name of Maria Sanchez?
No.
You know of Maria Sanchez.
No.
Have you ever seen your mother speak with a Spanish accent?
No.
If she had, would you remember that?
Yes.
During these times when you're talking to your mother and she's angry about being set up by the police and being accused, has she ever changed her personality and start talking in Spanish or in Spanish accent?
No.
Probably at one point last year, were you concerned that you might be charged with a crime based on the trip to Florida?
Yes.
What crime was it that you were aware of you might be charged with? of the story, the board made a decision as to whether or not we were going to file charges.
Yes.
Did you fly out to Colorado and give us a statement, much like what you just said today to this jury?
Yes, I did.
Why did you do that?
Because it's the right thing to do.
When you gave that statement, was there any guarantee as to whether or not you were going to file charges against you?
No, there was not.
What was the guarantee? What was told to you?
There was no guarantees.
Did you know that what you told us could not be used against you?
Yes.
Will you be honest with us? Say, I want to ask you questions, right?
Yes.
Videotape that?
Yes.
Will be honest with us.
Yes.
Sustained. You can rephrase the question.
You understood what you were coming in and talking about.
Yes.
You understood the consequences that you might be charged with a serious charge, right?
Yes.
You know that during the entirety of your statement.
Yes.
Do you now know that you cannot be charged with that crime?
Yes.
Why?
Because you guys believed me. I was being honest.
You heard anything called the statute of limitations? Talked to you about that?
No.
Were you aware that there was kind of a deadline as to when we need to make a decision about filing charges on you?
No.
So, we don't need to go any further than that, but at this time, you know you cannot be charged with that, right? But it wasn't part of the agreement that you signed on August 17th of 2020. Did you remember signing an agreement?
Yes.
If I may approach, Your Honor.
You may.
This is Equal Exhibit 324. Those scissors I'll flip that for you.
Before you wade into that would not be a good time for a break.
I'll just wrap up with this. Your first
That's fine. No, it's all good.
And for the record, I'm pulling out the contents of Equals Exhibit 24. So I'm going to hand that to you. Looks like this is a 2-page document. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is that?
This is what I signed after my interview.
Is that the proper agreement that you signed back in August of 2020 prior to doing your interview with our office?
Yes.
And is that the same as it was back in August when you signed it?
Yes.
To admit people's confession.
Admitted. Any form will be admitted. Go ahead.
Those are my questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take our afternoon recess. If I can have everyone back in the jury room at, say, 3:30, we should be able to start on time at that point. Again, don't discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss the case with anyone else. With that, we will see you at 3:30. Rise for the jury, please. You may all be seated. Record should reflect the jury has left the courtroom. Ms. Hunt, you can step down if you would like. Please watch your step. And we will be back in session at 3:30.
All rise.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here since they went on lunch break from yesterday. Head on over to Kit's True Crime. She should be going live here shortly. And we will watch the rest of today with her. Y'all have a great day.